Hey everyone, welcome to Mactastic Side. I'm your host, Mac Chiramo. As always, good looking and ready to roll. So today we're going to be talking about this hearing that happened. This hearing about UFOs. And I don't know if you've heard, but it was pretty important thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch clips of what other people are saying. We're going to comment. I'm going to comment on those and everything. And you can also leave comments down below in the comment section, and also please press that subscribe and like button and ring that little bell so you can get every video that I make. I make 2, sometimes 3 videos a day. So with that being said, we're going to listen to the first part of this hearing and get this rock and roll so we can get to talk about this shit. Right on.
The House Oversight and Accountability Subcommittee held a historic hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, also known as UFOs. Lawmakers heard from 3 witnesses today, including former U.S. military and intelligence community personnel who claim to have come into contact with such objects. Natalie Brand has more now from that hearing.
We have nothing close to it.
Retired Navy Commander David Fravor testified before Congress about an encounter he cannot explain. A strange tic-tac-shaped object he says he saw in the sky during a training mission in 2004.
He took it all the way to the
The technology
judge,
that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are digging into the national security concerns and the mystery posed by unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, also known as UFOs.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years. I know the exact locations.
A whistleblower who formerly worked on the Defense Department's UAP task force, David Grush, claims he was denied access to information on a government UFO crash retrieval program, something the Pentagon disputes.
Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Listen to this.
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people
non-human
on the program I talked to.
Congress members from both sides of the aisle are demanding more transparency from the U.S. Department of Defense. A recent report revealed the government is investigating more than 650 potential sightings. But Ryan Graves of Americans for Safe Aerospace says there's still a stigma around reporting.
Right now, we need a system where pilots can
but it's getting better.
Fear of losing their jobs.
The witnesses say better data is needed to determine what the identified objects are and their origins. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol
We know
Hill.
what they are. They are aliens, man. They are aliens.
The following is the entire Congress testimony of David Grush, who, until recently, worked at the National Geospatial Agency, NGA, as an intelligence officer. He was one of the chief officers charged with analyzing reports of unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, and also transmedium object analysis, reporting directly to the UAP task force. He claimed that the United States government has conducted secret retrieval and reverse engineering operations on crashed non-human aircrafts. He also stated to the media before that the United States government retrieved not just alien technology from these crash sites, but also non-human bodies. I'll leave you then with the full under-oath testimony of David Grush, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this exciting content. And consider leaving us a like. It really helps.
Yeah, that does help.
I solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
There's our soldiers right there.
That all the witnesses answered in the affirmative. You may be seated. We appreciate you all being here today and look forward to your testimony. I'll remind the witnesses that we have read your written statements and they will appear in full in the hearing record. Please try to limit your oral statements to 5 minutes. As a reminder, please press the button on the microphone in front of you so that it's on and the members can hear you. When you begin to speak, the light in front of you will turn green. After 4 minutes, it'll turn yellow, and the red light, when that comes on, it tells you your 5 minutes have expired. Mr. Grush?
Mr. Chairman, ranking members and congressmen, thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is an important issue, and I'm grateful for your time.
He's very confident.
My name is David Charles Grush.
You can tell.
I was an intelligence officer for 14 years, both in the U.S. Air Force, both active duty, Air National Guard, and Reserve, at the
Very
rank of major,
confident.
and most recently from 2021 to 2025, or excuse me, 2023, at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, at the GS-15 civilian level, which is the military equivalent of a full bird colonel.
He wouldn't take it all this way.
I was my agency's co-lead
just
in
to lie,
unidentified
man.
anomalous phenomena and transmedium object analysis, as well as reporting to the UAP task force, UAPTF, and eventually, once it was established, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW. I became a whistleblower through a PPD-19 urgent concern filing in May 2022 with the Intelligence Community Inspector General.
And we're glad you have.
Following concerning reports from multiple
become
esteemed
whistleblower.
and credentialed current and former military and intelligence community individuals that the U.S. government is operating with secrecy above congressional oversight with regards to UAPs. My testimony is based on information I've been given by individuals with a long-standing track record of legitimacy and service to this country.
And they'll
Many
be
of whom
coming out
also
soon.
have shared compelling evidence in the
Those people will be coming out soon, I promise. Once they see that he's okay and that he came out and that he's all right, he's not dead, or he's not being, harassed or anything like that, they'll come out as well. The people that talked to him, Gresh here, that told him all this shit
form of photography,
and showed him pictures.
official documentation, and classified oral testimony to myself and my various colleagues. I have taken every step I can to corroborate this evidence over a period of 4 years while I was with the UAP Task Force.
That's plenty.
And do my due
That is
diligence
plenty.
on the individual sharing it. This is because of these steps, I believe strongly in the importance of bringing this information before you.
That's
I'm
awesome,
driven
bro.
by a commitment of both to truth and transparency,
And your
rooted in our
Americancy.
inherent duty to uphold the United States Constitution
Being American.
and protect the American people.
Like this right here. I can
I'm
write up
asking
this
Congress to
fatty
hold
right
our
here.
government to this standard and thoroughly investigate these claims.
Look at that bad
But as I
boy.
stand here under oath now, I am speaking to the facts as I've been told them. In the U.S. Air Force, in my National Reconnaissance Office, NRO, reservist capacity, I was a member of the UAP Task Force
We are not
from
alone,
2019
people.
to 2021.
That's awesome.
I served at the NRO Operations Center on the Director's Briefing Staff, which included the coordination of the Presidential Daily Brief
Bob?
and supporting a variety of
What do you
contingency
think?
operations,
You think
which I
that's
was
cool
the
or what,
Reserve
Bob?
Intelligence Division Chief backup.
Bob Diggs.
In 2019,
I need to put
the
Bob
UAP
right here. I
Task
need
Force
Mount Bob
Director
right here so I can talk to
asked
him.
me to
Bob,
identify all
how you doing,
special
Bob?
access programs
that
and
way.
controlled access
Or have it mounted
programs,
someplace,
also known
you
as
know, right
SAPs
by
and
me so I
CAPs,
can just
we needed to satisfy our congressionally
kiss
mandated
him and
mission,
stuff.
and we were direct report at the time to the DepSecDev. At the time, due to my extensive executive level intelligence support duties, I was cleared to literally all relevant compartments and in a position of extreme trust, both in my military
Literally
and civilian
all.
capacities.
He could know anything.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general.
Superiors.
And in effect becoming a whistleblower.
Yeah.
As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of
It will,
increased
bro.
transparency.
It will. It will.
Thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Mr. Grush, in your complaint to the Intelligence Community Inspector General, you claim that you believe information is being hidden. What kind of information do you think was hidden, and do you think it should remain hidden?
Yes, I can speak to that very briefly in unclassified manner. As you know, the preponderance of my complaint was classified to the intelligence community.
That's the only thing I don't like is that a lot through the whole hearing, when they ask him a question that you go, oh man, this is gonna be a good answer. It's I can't answer that, but I can answer it behind closed doors. Well, what's the fucking difference, bro? Those people are representing us. Those people up on those panels or whatever they are, judges. They're representing us. So this is the closed room, pal. So spit it. We want to know it all, but he don't do that. He, behind closed doors, I can let you know. Fuck that shit. Tell us.
Both.
You want to be a whistleblower, and you want to say you're doing this for the people, the Americans? Then fucking do it, dude.
Material acquisition and exploitation activity.
But he's cool
also, baselining the UAPs, but not sharing it with, intelligence professionals that are actually doing step briefs to pilots. That kind of information. Yeah.
Mr. Grush, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General, and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually
well, then tell us. We want to know because we're going there.
Provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I would just say I think that
the
these
folding of his arms
are
right there.
Questions, and I look forward to being involved in the process to get those answered. I know there'll be a lot of questions from other committee members, so I yield back.
Look at that hairdo, slick.
Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you all very much.
He said, "Thank you, brother."
Have you faced any retaliation or reprisal?
I want to thank you, brother, and you, brother, and you, brother, for being brothers. And hey, listen, brothers, let's get this shit going. He's trying to be cool. He probably rode there on a Harley. It's all right, brother. You keep going.
For any of your testimony or anything on these lines?
Yeah, I have to be careful what I say in detail because there is an open whistleblower reprisal investigation on my behalf, and I don't want to compromise that investigation.
You're shitting me.
By providing anything that may
no way, really?
Help provide somebody.
They're calling you a whistleblower? Those sons
it was
of
very
bitches.
brutal and very unfortunate. Some of the tactics they used to hurt me both professionally and.
I'm sure the government's cruel when it comes to that shit, man.
As they say, when you're over the target, that's when they do the most firing at you. Do you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes.
Yes.
Personally.
Very firm.
Anyone been murdered that you would think that you know of or have heard of? I guess
I have to be careful asking that question. I directed people
you
with
have to
that
be careful
to the appropriate
answering
police.
it, not asking.
Maybe
it.
in a if we could get in a confidential area of skiff, we can talk about that.
Maybe we can get in the closet. You can tell me. So we're not getting nowhere, you dick.
And that's very unfortunate in this.
Well, good. I'm glad you were denied the skiff.
Mr. Grush, what about you? What was your experience after you came forward?
Look, they're all trying to be cool.
Well,
he rode there on a Harley as well.
So I guess my experience has been overwhelming support from former colleagues of mine that have privately messaged me, and I do appreciate that. But I do have knowledge of active planned reprisal activity against myself and other colleagues, and it's very, very upsetting to me.
Coming from where?
Tell us, man. We want to know.
Certain senior leadership at previous agencies I was associated with. And that's
tell
all
us more. Tell us more.
I can provide more details in a closed environment.
Okay. Well,
I
hope you understand.
Close all the doors.
There would be
Get the
bipartisan rejection of any attempt to vilify, demonize, or engage in other reprisals against our witnesses and people.
Look at him rocking a bandana and shit. He's like,
there were certain colleagues of mine.
I'm gonna show him I'm cool. I'm hip. I'm cool.
It actually makes me very upset as a leader to see that happen to other coworkers and actually superiors of mine over the last 3 years.
How do you account for that response?
Wait a minute, is that gang affiliated? Is he trying to show a gang sign there?
Terrorism. That's their quiver. Their tool in the toolbox to silence people, especially, the career government service cares about their career, cares about their clearance, their reputation to climb the ladder. And when you threaten that career path, a lot of people back off. But I'm here to represent those people.
Then spit it, pal.
Mr.
Quit saying in a closet, I can tell you.
Yesterday, I just wanted to follow up on
Does she work here?
Raskin's questions. In the last couple of years,
she
have
is
you
fine
had
as
incidences that have
Jamie
caused
Christmas,
you to be
she's
in
fine.
fear for your life for addressing these issues?
Yes, personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to note that he's coming forward in fear of his life. To put in perspective, if they were really not scared about this information coming out, why would someone be intimidated like that? To your knowledge, are NHIs working with adversarial foreign governments in either technology exchange programs or back engineering programs?
I don't have data on that. I'm not sure.
Oh man.
Have you heard or you had people come
beautiful.
forward to present that evidence?
I would not hurt all of
particular
it.
evidence
No,
that you
honey,
just
baby.
espoused.
What,
Okay, on the
what do you want
19th
to
of
know?
April, Dr. Kirkpatrick, head of Aero, had said that he did not find any evidence of UAPs. You also stated that you had, in your interview, that you had briefed him on information that you were uncovering, but that he did not follow up with you. Were the items that you divulged to him pertinent to national security?
Yes, him and I had a classified conversation in April 2022 before he took over Aero in July 2022, and I provided him some concerns I had.
Do you know why he might not have followed up with you?
Unfortunately, I cannot read his mind.
Because I'm a
I wish he
whistleblower,
did.
maybe?
I was happy to give sage counsel to him on where to look when he took the helm of Aero.
Okay, and then my last question for you before I move to Mr. Graves is you received prior approval from the Defense Department to speak on certain issues, correct?
Correct, through DOPSR, DoD Pre-Publication and Security Review, and I just want to remind
Man, he's
the
on point
public,
though. I mean,
they're
he
just
ain't
looking
scared.
from
He
a
ain't
security
messing up too much at all.
These are my own personal
Like I said,
views
he's
and
very
opinions,
confident
not the
on what he's saying.
Okay, I'm asking that though mainly because I think that there are many people that would like to discredit you. So it does bring a certain amount of credibility to your testimony.
I'm required by law to do that as a former intelligence officer, or I go to jail for revealing classified information.
Yeah, we don't want you to go to jail.
Mr. Grush, as a result
Nobody
of your
needs to
previous
go to jail
government
here.
work, have you met with people with direct
What
knowledge
is
or
up?
have
We got
direct knowledge
Bandana,
yourself of non-human
Bandana
or
Bob
working
over there. We got
Yes, I
Prince
personally interviewed those
with his
individuals.
purple suit.
Mr. Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself about
Beautiful
ATs,
women.
advanced technologies?
What
that
kind
the
of
US
panel
government
is
has?
this?
Based on conventional advanced tech, I was briefed to the preponderance of the Defense Department's both space and aerospace compartmented programs, yeah.
Do you have knowledge or do you have reason to believe that there are programs in the advanced tech space that are unsanctioned?
He's like, look,
Yes, I
man,
do.
just answer
Okay.
the questions.
And when you say that they're above
When I speak,
congressional
you
oversight,
answer.
what do you
I
mean?
love his suit, though. He's rocking it.
Complicated question. So there's, some, I would call it abuse here. So congressional oversight of conventional special access programs, so I'll use Title 10, so DOD as an example, right? So 10 U.S. Code Section 119 discusses
See, look,
congressional
he is
oversight of
on it.
SAPs,
He is
discusses
on it.
the DepSecDef's ability to waive congressional reporting. However, the Gang of Eight is at least supposed to be notified if a waived or wave bigoted unacknowledged SAP is.
We'll see what everybody else got to say about this.
law.
Well, so that how does, I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah.
how does a program like that get funded?
I
After
will
he
give you
answers this
generalities.
question.
I can get very specific in a closed session, but misappropriation of funds and
Does that mean
self-fund.
there is money in the budget that is said to go to
Yeah.
the program, but it doesn't,
Yes.
and it goes to something else?
Yes,
I have specific
exactly
knowledge
what.
of that.
That's
Yep.
exactly
Do you
what
think
it
U.S.
means.
corporations are overcharging for certain tech they're selling to the U.S. government, and that additional money is going to programs?
Correct, through something called IRAD.
Okay.
Irad.
Satellite imagery. Let's talk about satellite imagery. We have satellites all over the place, some that we're aware of and many that we're not aware of, right? We're taking pictures of everything at every point and second.
Hang
Mr.
on,
Grush,
sir,
are you
let's go
aware,
back to this
do you have
real
direct
quick.
knowledge, or have you talked to people with direct knowledge that there are satellite imagery of these events?
That was one of my primary tasks at NGA. Since
Those
we,
would be the next
process,
pictures, baby.
exploit,
Right
and
there.
disseminate
Satellite
information.
imaging.
I've seen
So they're
multiple
bringing it
cases,
up,
some of which,
so
to my
give it up.
understanding, and of course, I left NGA in April, so that's my information cutoff date. But I personally reviewed both what we call overhead collection and from other strategic and tactical platforms that were, I could not even explain prosaic.
They're all over him.
Physics, by the way, as well.
They're leaving
And
Commander
I-
Fravor and
I'm
Graves
aware that you
alone.
guys have not seen these
But
reports.
they are
unfortunately.
all over
And I don't
his
know why.
ass.
He's
got
do
all
you have
the
direct
answers.
knowledge, or you had spoken people
We
with
have
direct knowledge
witnesses on
that
each
this
side,
imagery
but we have this
applies
dude who was
to
on the
crash
inside, you know what I
sites,
mean?
Crash imagery,
I can't discuss that in an open session.
okay?
That's bullshit,
Do
man.
you
That's
have
bullshit.
any information that the U.S. government is involved in a disinformation campaign to deny the existence
I'd be
of
like,
certain UAPs?
can you answer any fucking question that I asked you? Jesus. And just answer the questions, man.
I can't go beyond what I've already stated publicly in my News Nation interview because it touches other sensitivities.
Okay. I'll yield the balance of my time back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Fox?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank our witnesses for being here today. Mr. Garouche, in your sworn testimony, you state that the United States government has retrieved supposedly extraterrestrial spacecraft and other UAP-related artifacts. You go so far as to state that the U.S. is in possession of, quote, non-human spacecraft, end quote, and that some of these artifacts
That's exactly what he said.
With defense contractors.
Quote away.
Several other former military and intelligence officials have come forward with similar allegations, albeit in non-public settings. However, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, the director of AARO, previously testified before Congress that there has been, and I quote, no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity or
bullshit. Write that off, lady.
Off-world technology brought to the attention of the office. To your knowledge, is that statement correct?
It's not accurate. I believe Dr. Kirkpatrick mentioned he had about 30 individuals that have come to Aero thus far. A few of those individuals have also come to Aero that I also interviewed, and I know what they provided Dr. Kirkpatrick and their team.
Okay.
I was able to evaluate.
See, he is on point, man.
I need to go on.
Sure.
But
you asked him a fucking question, yo bag.
His statement is accurate, came from a direct quote. And this contradiction is a perfect example of why we need to inject transparency into our government. And for another example, look no further than the pitiful response to the Chinese spy balloon debacle earlier this year. You may remember the mass confusion that ensued when the balloon was first spotted over Montana, 4 days after it first entered U.S. airspace over Alaska. The Biden administration's initial inability to address the object.
Why do they keep going back to that balloon?
A continuous series of embarrassments. After news of the balloon reached the mainstream media, we were assured that the balloon posed no threat to our security.
Well, no shit, it's a freaking balloon.
Was allowed to transit the entire continental United States. Fighter jets were scrambled off the coast of South Carolina.
It's a balloon, lady.
This flip-flopping and obfuscation caused needless confusion, fear, and panic across the country. It's my hope, Mr. Chairman, that this sort of confusion will not be repeated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to direct this, I believe, to
what if that sounds better right there?
If any of you all
probably
feel
does,
like you need to jump in, just jump right in. We're good.
Just jump right in.
Has the
Water's
U.S. government become aware of actual evidence of extraterrestrial, otherwise unexplained forms of intelligence? And if so, when do you think this first occurred?
I like to use the term non-human. I don't like to denote origin. Keeps the aperture open, both scientifically. Right. Certainly, like I've discussed publicly previously, 1930s.
Okay.
1930s.
Can you give me the names and titles of the people with direct first-hand knowledge and access to some of this crash retrieval, some of these crash retrieval programs, and maybe which facilities, military bases that the recovered material would be in? And I know a lot of Congress talked about we're going to go to Area 51, and and there's nothing there anymore anyway.
There's not. There's nothing there.
As soon as we announce it, I'm sure the moving vans would pull up, but please.
I can't discuss that publicly, but I did provide that information both to the Intel committees and the Inspector General.
And we could get that in the skiff if we were allowed to get in a skiff with you. Would that be probably?
Yep. Let's all jump in the skiff.
Sure, if you have the appropriate accesses, yeah.
Everybody in the skiff.
What special access programs?
Who are you?
Cover
It doesn't matter. Get in the skiff.
And how is it possible that they have evaded oversight for so long?
I do know the names. Once again, I can't discuss that publicly and how they've evaded
oversight. Get in the skiff.
In a closed setting, I can tell you.
Get in the goddamn skiff. Everybody in the goddamn skiff now.
When do you think those programs began, and who authorized them?
Yeah, who authorized them?
I do know a lot of that information, but that's something I can't discuss publicly because of sensitivities.
All right. Any of y'all want to jump
Get
in
in the
on any
skiff.
of this, you're more than welcome
Everybody jump in the skiff.
to.
Skiff
What
is
level
full.
of
It is
security
sinking.
clearance is required to fully access these programs?
Well, anybody who has.
And I say that because myself, Representative Gates and Representative Luna were basically turned away at one point at Eglin. So please go right ahead.
Oh, wait, represent
Certainly a
the
difference
Senate.
between member
Supposed to
access
kick down
and,
that
say,
door,
somebody
dude.
like me, but
Kick it
anybody has
in.
a
Ramble that
TSSCI
shit.
clearance and meets the eligibility
As Casper
criteria.
would say.
The access adjudicative authority should be able to grant you access. Yeah.
Mr. Burchett, if you'll yield, so just to put a fine point on that, there's nothing that you're aware of that's above special access program classification.
It's a misnomer that there's anything actually above top secret. Executive Order 13526 delineates the classification levels.
Right, but I draw a point on that because we can have access to those programs. And
Like I
so
said,
the
we're going to
notion
dip
that
into other people,
we're
see
not
what they
given
think
that
about
access
it.
sort of
see
defies
what,
our typical muscle memory.
let's see what they think about it. I like to hear other people's opinions so we can,
Former
spread
intelligence
out.
official David Grush made explosive claims in yesterday's House Oversight Subcommittee hearing about a possible U.S. government cover-up about contact it had with UFOs. But the classified nature of what he knows prevented him from elaborating or providing evidence to back up his allegations.
I know.
Congressman
So what was he doing
Jared
there?
Moskowitz told reporters that the committee
he
is
told us
planning a
enough.
workaround where Grush can finally reveal what he knows. Let's watch.
I'm going to be sending a letter. I'm going to be working with members of
There's
the
that
Oversight
pimp.
Committee to get
There's
Mr.
Purple
Grush
Rain
into
right
the
there.
skiff. You heard a lot of his answers today that are classified information.
Yeah, everybody's
got to
get in the goddamn skiff.
General. We want to see that. And so I think that's the next step here is to get that information in a secure facility.
Grush may have been limited in what he could say publicly, but he and the other two witnesses, former Navy pilots Ryan Graves and David Fravor, delivered more jaw-dropping allegations. Let's listen.
The objects that are being seen by commercial pilots are performing maneuvers that are unexplainable due to our current understanding of our technology and our capabilities as a country, and that applies for the military as well.
Mr. Ferrer?
Yeah, I concur with that. We have nothing that can stop in midair and go the other direction, nor do we have anything that can, like in our situation, come down from space, hang out for 3 hours, and
Man,
go
I
back
bet
up.
that was
Thank
amazing
you. My last
to
question,
see, man.
and sometimes I know that some you
Amazing
have also
to see.
said some of these answers in the past, but we're trying to get them on the public record as well, which is really important. Mr. Grush, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations.
Right, and they follow that up by saying, he has all this information, but it's classified and he can't reveal it in that setting. So they're talking about setting up the skiff, that's the secure room where there are no phones, no cameras,
where is it?
and
Tell
he
us
could
now.
actually provide that information. I mean, that is clearly what needs to happen because
Where are they?
everybody wants the truth. Everybody wants, if
Tell
there's
us.
evidence, they want to hear it. And we want names named. What are the agencies? Who are the people who work for them? Who
Just
are
tell us
involved
where they
in
are.
what has been described as
Just
a
say,
cover-up of
they're
the
in
actual
Bill's
recovery
garage.
of alien or otherworldly
code is
off-world
223482.
technology, and that is beyond the
luck,
American
Will.
government's ability to manufacture, and also bodies of non-human entities that were piloting those crafts.
Right. So you have David Grush making some really, really big claims here. And we had Tim Burchett go and meet with several officials with the Pentagon.
We are
and the
not alone,
Pentagon,
people.
You know, it was the
We are
assumption that
not
they would
alone.
get briefed, right? And then upon arriving there, they were not allowed in the room where the briefing was happening. They were not going to give them the information that they wanted. They refused to answer questions about the whistleblower allegations. And so this is an interesting workaround where you have David Grush, who has conducted, 40 plus
We are
interviews over the
not
past 4 years.
alone
Who
at
might be
all.
able to tell them something that the Pentagon is refusing to, but of course he's saying this is classified information. So it sounds like Grush is a bit concerned about his personal position here. We also had Matt Gaetz claim that he saw a photo of biologics or something, which kind of sounds like Matt Gaetz, just like, hey, I want to be involved too. Like you guys are talking about aliens.
Shit, I'd want to be involved.
Well, people, I mean, that speaks to even people in our, who was the president? Wasn't it Jimmy Carter who said that he believed because he'd seen something?
Oh, that's
Carter
right.
seeing
That sounds
something.
right.
Reagan
We'll ask our
seeing
producers
something.
to follow up on that.
There's that one in
they'll
Windows
get to that. I
back,
believe it was Jimmy
people's
Carter.
backyard.
He was out in the peanut fields, just UFOs.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just
Yep.
all over the place.
Picking peanuts,
No,
UFOs.
we're taking this. This is being taken seriously, which is good.
Yes.
Because we know the government lacks transparency and we know it's hiding things.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
very
getting
interested
hot,
in the
man.
response that we don't have technology, crafts that can quickly change direction. What the witness was describing there. My understanding, I was reading this great article in National Review yesterday about prior UFO UAP sightings that have been where a pilot saw something and then an explanation has been provided for it, and in the majority of those cases, the explanation was it was a U.S. Craft. It was something the government created.
Yes.
So given that has
Most
previously
of them
been the
ain't, man.
explanation for a lot of things, like if the government has technology we're not aware of, they wouldn't tell us. That's perfectly plausible. Like we're talking about how they were funding all sorts of dangerous research experiments in Wuhan, China, in unsafe lab conditions.
Wuhan,
that
China.
they don't want to admit, like even now that they're being forced to, they don't want to admit
Wuhan,
it.
China.
So people need to check and say, well, that's the U.S. government couldn't do that. No, they certainly could have technology and could have designed planes that don't resemble what's publicly available. So I think people need to not, so easily dismiss that explanation and say, no, it must be off-world technology.
Right. Could have been Russia, could have been China, could have been
No,
another,
it's not though. You
technological superpower.
boneheads.
So our producers
Don't
did
be
say that Jimmy
weak-minded,
Carter
you
saw
turds.
a UFO
I knew it.
in Georgia in 1969. So perhaps they were, courting him for the position of human ambassador to the aliens.
All
But he
you
ran
know about
for president, which
UFOs is what they've told you in the last week. I've been doing my research for years, lady, and there's other people out there who've been doing it for years and years and years and years. So they should be on your show, not you guys, but nice tattoos.
disqualified him, and they're just waiting for someone like me to come
That's
along.
going to be your position.
Let me be on
Yes.
your show.
You're
I'll tell you what's
deeply
up.
excited for it. You're seeking it.
Yes, yeah.
What's
I
she
would
Be
seeking?
confirmed by the Senate, I guess.
Perhaps I'll have to attend a
Seeking
hearing
a
like this one and
promotion?
promise to,
Are
publicly
ya?
disclose
Declassify
information, declassify it. Yes,
You can have it.
absolutely.
Damn,
Make it
she's
all
beautiful.
available. Be a good ambassador.
Yeah.
A liaison between the humans and the aliens.
I think you'd be just terrific. The issue with the skiff is that we're not going to hear what gets said.
Right.
They're going to.
I know that's bullshit,
and then they're gonna bring
because
their
they represent
concerns,
us.
Them being.
We're getting
convergent
nowhere
and
if
other
we're just
people.
keeping secrets with other
And
people.
then hopefully bring their
Okay,
concerns to the relevant
we're gonna
agency.
get secrets from you,
There's
and
going to be
then, we're going to
legislation
keep the secrets as well.
force these agencies. Again, we're just.
Don't make no
we're always,
goddamn
we're always
sense.
circling
What
the
the
same
fuck?
problem. That there's a component of the government that has taken on a life of its own. This administrative state that is totally removed from democratic accountability and is immune to changes in government composition, to one party going in, another coming in, or one going out, another coming in. It's the same procedures. It's the same secretive designs, and we want that changed and unmasked and disclosed. But so many of our legislators who even talk a good game about doing that.
Don't make no sense,
It seems
man.
like that's all they're doing is talking. Is they go on TV and promise changes and then they don't deliver anything.
Yes, but yesterday was a good start. Let's look at another key moment
Good
from
start,
yesterday's
okay.
hearing where
All right,
retired
one more
Commander
thing, then
David
we'll
Fravor describes
crash
this
this
highly
video.
advanced technology that he witnessed. Let's watch.
In your career, have you ever seen a propulsion system that creates no thermal exhaust?
No.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very
told this story
determinate.
a million
It knew
times.
exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Now, if the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
No. Everybody knows
And,
that.
and just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
None.
I love this hearing. I love this hearing because they're like, can you describe it? And he's like, it was so fast. And they're like, how fast? And he's like,
Really
this
fast.
fast.
This fast.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that, as you pointed out, Robbie, there could be this kind of technology
And when
that
it
the U.S.
ended up at their
government and
cap
military
cap
has
point,
that not
that-
everyone
that
who
threw
is,
me off.
a commander in the military.
When Commander Fravor that was just talking, they went to check out what the Tic Tac was, so they're spiraling down, and Tic Tac sees them, and it starts spiraling up with them, so they're coming up at each other like this, and then it gets in front of Commander Fravor, and then he said it's just gone, boom, gone, And they said, and Commander Fravor was like, it's gone, it's gone. And they was back at the ship, and they go, Commander Fravor, you're not going to believe this. And he's like, what's that? And they go, this thing is at your cap point. Now, what a cap point is where they were doing an exercise, okay, when they were called on to do real world tasks to intercept this Tic Tac. Anyways, the cap point is where everybody goes if they go to your cap point. Only the people that's flying those planes and a few people inside the ship know where that cap point is. And this thing was there in less than seconds. Seconds. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Knows about? That's reasonable. But I would like to believe that it is aliens.
I'm willing to.
Everybody wants to be honest. We don't want to be alone.
Don't like when I sound dismissive of the alien possibility. I am not dismissing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is possible, but it is an extraordinary claim. And extraordinary claims require proof. And then I ask, where's the proof? And then people will say, well, but this person says that he spoke to this person, and this person actually saw something.
I agree on that too.
That's not anything. I want to show me that. I want to
show
see,
me the money.
Crafts. I want to see the bodies. I want to see that
show
stuff.
Me
then
the
I will
money.
Believe. Show me something that
show
is
us,
actually
yeah,
persuasive, and I would accept it.
Is it reasonable
that is
to
100%
believe, Robbie, that the
see.
aliens just don't want to hang out with us because we don't seem like great guys to hang out with?
We don't seem like a cool planet.
Yeah, we don't seem like,
Story of my life.
I don't know, we're nice people. We just shoot guns for fun and kill people and start wars with each other. And they're like,
well, you think they're
so
innocent?
want to interact with these people.
You think they're so innocent?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, clashes. The closest thing we have, if we were actually being visited by an alien civilization,
yes.
I just worry it will go the way clashes of civilization on Earth went, which was usually with
battles,
violence,
severe disease, and violence.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Violence,
the disease
wars.
part is what I really worry about.
Are the aliens sterile? Are they, clean?
I don't know.
Is the spaceship
Do they
clean?
have,
we
do they have,
got plenty of.
We can't even.
Is that where COVID
we don't know
came
how they'll physical.
We got plenty of alcohol
Here's
pads.
the crossover you need, Robbie. Is this the real
Since
COVID
the
origin story?
COVID
I know
thing.
it came from an alien spacecraft, a UAP. They
Oh,
recovered
the COVID?
biologics, and it was
Maybe.
they had COVID.
Yes, I'm sure the Proximal Origins people, the Eco Health Alliance would love if that was the explanation.
Okay, that was cool. But I'm telling you, people, there are aliens out there, and I've seen them. I've seen UFOs. I mean, I'm convinced that it was a UFO that was above my house. But I've talked to people and everything, and this hearing is the biggest thing since sliced bread, I'm telling you. But with that being said, please subscribe to my channel. Please, if you don't subscribe, just give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. That really helps as well. And I will see you on the next video.